Hi, I decided to invite you into my studio today. This is more of a very impromptu kind of video, but I wanted to talk a little bit about a few of the goals that I had set for myself earlier this year. I'm sure that many of you at the beginning of the year set certain goals that you wanted to achieve, and you're probably checking them off as you go along, right? I'm sure you are. Well, it's the same thing for me. A few weeks ago, I decided, spur of the moment kind of thing, that I wanted to do an art show, a solo exhibit. I hadn't really ever had a solo exhibit. I was always with a group of artists for some exhibit or show. So I decided that I wanted to do a solo exhibit. And my youngest son and I were taking karate classes at a local karate school. So I mentioned to the karate instructor some ideas that I had. And when I mentioned the art show, he said, "Great, you can use the studio. We'll take up all of the mats, we'll get the place prepared. You just tell me what you need." And I was completely blown away because this was such a generous offer. And if you see the school, it's Alicea's Martial Arts here in Rockledge, Florida. If you saw the school, it is amazing, and they have done so much renovation over the summer. So this is going to be quite an awesome setting to do this art show in. But I brought that up because when I first mentioned it and I got this kind of a response, I remember this saying, you know, if you speak your goals out, the universe is going to respond. And it was one thing after another just kept, snowballing. And I got the building, and shortly after I made a post on Facebook about it that I was going to do the show. I picked a date for November the 5th, and a friend of mine came forward saying we will cater the food. Someone else is going to do like a wine tasting kind of deal. Someone else is going to do drinks for kids who are going to be there. Then I also got sponsorships for different things. I also got sponsorship to have cards printed. These are all the postcards that were printed, the invitations for the upcoming show, and there were like over 50 of them that were done, and they're very professional looking, amazing. So I was completely taken aback by all of the just the outpouring of support that I was getting from so many people. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about. If you have a goal, speak it to someone. Don't just keep it to yourself, and yes, work hard on it, but tell someone about it, because the thing is, when you do speak it out, yes, this universe really does conspire to help you to make it happen. And I know that's one way of putting it, but for me, I'm telling you, it has got to be a God thing, because whenever I mention this, I want to have a solo art show, people just started to come around and support and say, we want to do this, we will give this money to you so you can do this, just tell us what you're going to need. And God knows it's been on my heart to work with kids. So I decided, okay, this has been an awesome opportunity for me to be able to do this show. The building isn't going to cost me anything, but there's a wonderful group of kids who perform for the school on the competition team. They travel throughout Florida and throughout other states competing for the school. So I thought, and they're always looking for funds to kind of help them on their different tournaments that they have to travel on. So I said, how can I help this group of kids? So in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing a workshop with them. They're going to be creating their own set of artwork, which will be auctioned off on the same night, November the 5th. So even though, yes, it started out as a solo exhibit, but at the same time, I have a heart for helping these kids, so their work is also going to be on display. But to put another spin on this, many of you don't know, but about 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with lupus. And it got to the point where I was rushed to the hospital on the verge of cardiac arrest on one particular day. This was actually about 4 days after I was diagnosed. And it's been a real challenge over the last few years trying to just get healthy. All of my doctors tell me there is no cure for this. Everybody's telling me, everybody else who also have lupus are telling me I need to not get my hopes up. There's no cure for this thing. And I've really been fighting against that, all of the negativity about this disease. And yes, it has been hard. This year especially has been really tough. I would tell you, I have about a crew of 7 doctors, from the cardiologist to the hematologist. I've got them all. But if you have a goal, if you have a dream, do not give up on that dream. Yes, being ill does make it a lot harder. I ended up having to quit my job where I taught art and sculpture for 11 years. I ended up having to quit that job because I became very, very ill. But after a while, you get to a point where, you know, you have all of these dreams, you put them on the back burner because illness kind of tries to take control of it. But I fought against it, and I said, there's no way I'm going to let this illness get me down. There's no way I'm going to let this illness kill all of my dreams. This is one of the reasons why I'm so adamant about getting this show, this exhibit done for November the 5th. You can see behind me, I've got quite a few pieces on display. These are just some of the works that I've been doing over the last few weeks, and I'm going to be posting them in different social media settings. So those of you who follow me on other social media will be able to see those as well. But to not let this video go any longer, I just wanted to say, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, do not give up on that dream. You might have some debilitating factor that is keeping you from constantly working on it, but do not give up on it. I started working on this solo show about 4 weeks ago, and there are so many things that are already in place, and this is only September 10th, and the show is on November the 5th. So many things have come together just by me saying, I am going to do this. I want to do this. You will have people coming out of the woodworks because they want to help you. So do not give up on that dream.